say the word Elohim. Let's go back to the book of Leviticus and review this again. In 23, verse 1, a holy convocation, and it indicates to us that this should be in all of your dwellings. It's wherever you live. And we hear some people say that you cannot celebrate the Sabbath in captivity. We will go on and review that a little later on. And let's look at verse 32 when it says that you should afflict your souls, the same chapter of Leviticus, on the Sabbath from even to even. And this is a day of atonement. Take note, the word Sabbath is singular. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 5th chapter and the 12th verse. The word that is sanctify, meaning set apart. All right, let's review now again this topic. When is the Sabbath day? Let's go to the book of 2 Samuel, the 32nd verse from the 2nd chapter, verse 32. And they say they came to Hebron at the break of day. Take note of that. Let's go to the book of Judges, the 16th chapter, the 2nd verse. And it reads, when it was morning, the word morning, when it was day. Chapter 19, verse 9. Note that it says, it draweth towards the evening. And after the evening comes the word midnight. So celebrating the Sabbath day starting Friday evening is an error of what the Creator said, not Asaph. 1 Chronicles 16 verse 40. You'll see the word continue. And you must read this so that the Almighty can give you a better understanding of what He says. Chapter 23 verse 30. Again, the word morning, the light period. And here we want to look at a very important chapter and book. It's the book of Nehemiah, 13th chapter, the 19th verse. And it says, before the Sabbath, that the gates would be closed. It has nothing to do with you leaving a house or celebrating the Sabbath on Friday evening. The book of Esther, chapter 4, verse 16. They say they ate neither night nor day, nor drank anything. Let's go to the book of Isaiah and review the 58th chapter, the 13th verse. And I remind you, the word here, the key word, is make the Sabbath day a delight. And this is the weekly Sabbath. And this is not be associated with the book of Leviticus, with the Day of Atonement. On the weekly Sabbath, you do not afflict your souls. The book of Ezekiel, 1 verse 1. Take note of the word captives. They celebrated the Sabbath day in captivity. Still in the book of Leviticus, the 20th chapter, the 12th verse. The Almighty said that this is a sign for you. Let's go to Ezekiel, the 46th chapter, and the first verse. It said that this is the Sabbath. And take note of what it is saying about the prince. This is not, I repeat, this is not talking about the Christ of the New Testament. And it says that the evening here is listed. And again, my brothers and sisters, you must read this so that the Almighty can open your eyes. It is very important. And let's go to the New Testament. I make that distinction because we read from the Holy Scriptures. And I make this statement emphatically that the New Testament is not Scripture. And I'll prove that in a minute. The book of Matthew, the 28th chapter, the first verse. And it says, after the Sabbath, it became the first day of the week. In chapter 27, verse 62. It is the day of preparation, the day before the Sabbath. Now let's go to Matthew 28, verse 1. And it reads as follows. And in the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn towards the first day of the week, which is Sunday. Take note of that and understand that the Creator wants us to have knowledge and understanding of His words. Now let's review the book of Mark, 13th chapter, the 32nd verse. And it points out in here, when you read this, that this is in that day. No man knoweth, understand this, this refutes the Trinity when you read it. No man knoweth of that day. Not the angels in heaven, not the Son, but the Father only. And it says, when the cock crows. And my question to you is, does a rooster crow in the evening? Let's go to the book of John. Chapter 11, verse 9. And here again, this is the Christ of the New Testament. Some say he's Yeshua. He say, are there not but 12 hours in a day? And take note of when this changed. In the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, the 25th verse. And now we call it, at this time, at this period, this is December 2013, that it is now daylight savings time. But in the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, the 25th verse, it said they would change times and laws. And how did this happen? Well, Constantine in 321 AD changed the Sabbath day to Sunday. So let's go back and review something here. The book of Acts, the 17th chapter, the 2nd verse. All right, we want to make sure we take note of this. It's the book of Daniel, the 7th chapter, the 25th verse, where it says that they would think to change laws and times. And the verification of this would be Constantine in 321 AD changed the Sabbath day to Sunday. And then later on, the Catholic Church put it into law. Okay, we want to review Acts, the 17th chapter, the 2nd verse in the New Testament. And it reads as follows. And Paul, as manner was, went in unto them 3 Sabbath days, reasoning with them out of the Scriptures. There was no New Testament. We want to go to 2 Timothy 3, verse 16. And we've heard this repeated many times. And in my St. Joseph Catholic book, Paul was in prison around 66 AD when he wrote this letter to Timothy. And it says, all scriptures are for the inspiration. And take note of this. There was no New Testament. All scripture. Let's go to 1 Kings 18, verse 21. And this is my question to you. As the scripture reads, how long will you be of two opinions? How long? I'm reminded of a prayer from my mom, Lillian Richardson, 1903 to 1992. The prayer, the Psalms 121, has been in our family over 90 years. So that I urge you to read it and understand it. And they ask the Almighty to allow you to see it as it is. He said that he that keepeth Israel shall neither slumber nor sleep. And a statement from my mom, which I remember quite frequently, and another reason for this video. She said, if you see something that needs to be done, it is for your eyes only.